Hey, what's up guys? Since you're new here, you're new to my channel, I'm a doctor training in Germany, doing my residency. Decided to come here 4 years ago, learn the new language, accept the new culture, and be a part of this country. And if you're thinking of those things along those lines, you've come to the right place. And here are my 6 tips and suggestions to you to get you started the right way and set you up for success. Tip number 1. I was 3 months into learning German and my family knew nothing about it. And I already in my mind made up this decision. It just took me that long to then have this conversation with them. It took a couple of weeks for my family to wrap their head around this idea that I was gonna shift to another country, probably for the rest of my life. And that's a big decision, guys. And for the family that I come from, we're a close-knit circle. And so when they were finally on board, it was such a relief for me. That point onward, it had made the journey so much smoother. At every conversation and every decision that we had to make, they were standing by me rather than against me. I didn't have to fight them. I had their support and I knew that, and that helped me make decisions more freely, knowing that I had that security net underneath me if I were to fall. Those are the people you're going to be reaching out to share your great moments, to share your hard moments, and it helps to have them by your side for that emotional support. So tip number 2, it's time to sit down with yourself and have an honest conversation. Most of us, when we're surrounded by family and friends, do not really have an opportunity or get into the habit of self-reflection and sitting alone with our thoughts. So it helps that at an early stage you sit down with yourself and talk to yourself and ask yourself, why do you want to do this? What is your personal reason that's close to your heart, wanting to get out of the country, moving away from your family, moving away from your friends? Why do you want to do it? And hold on to that thought. There are going to be times where you feel weakened by the effort you're making. There are going to be times when you're alone. There are going to be times when you feel disappointed. It's this thought that you will hold on to, and it's this thought that will help you in your darkest hour. It was Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosophist, who said, "A man who has a why can live to bear and overcome almost anyhow." It's that why that you'll find by spending time with yourself, sitting alone, walking in the forest, and practicing the art of self-reflection. Tip number 3. Now, this one was such a game changer for me when I realized it, and I realized it very early on in my journey. What I did, and what I suppose most of the people who are trying to go abroad do, is look for all the information they need on the internet, which is a good thing, because you're going to find anything and everything on the internet. But what you don't realize is how much time it's gonna cost you. Once you realize that your time has value, well, that changes everything. When I'd begun, I valued my time and I'd ask myself, what's the cost that I would attribute to my 1 hour? And at that time, I thought of it as $30 or 30 euros or approximately 2,500 rupees. Anything that was gonna cost me less than this amount for an hour's work was worth spending that money for. It's what you gained by making this shift in perspective and the thought process. Once you have all those free hours, suddenly all of that time opens up, and now you have time to spend with your family, do the things that you really want to do, go out with your friends, spend more time learning the language or the culture or making friends online. So seek out for help early. That's my advice. Look for people who've been on this journey. Well, the internet's gonna be your friend, and on YouTube, my channel is your friend. So if you're new here, and if you like what I do, and if you want this information for yourself, hit the subscribe button. It helps out a lot. Share my video with your friends. Hit the like button if you like the content that I'm putting out right now. Okay, moving on. Tip number 4. Get in touch with the foreigners office or international office early on in the process. As soon as you know which city you're going to be moving into, once you have a confirmation of a job or the training or a practical internship or if you're coming on to study here further, and if you know which city you're going to come to, contact their international office. So I personally contacted them early on when I got a confirmation that I was going to Hamburg in Germany, or the international office was called Hamburg Welcome Center, and they were nice enough to communicate with me about all my doubts. And when you enter the country, you're supposed to register yourself in the city that you move to in the first 14 days. That's where you're going to be doing it. When your visa is about to run out, because you entered the country on a temporary stay visa, in my case I came with a job seeker's visa, you're going to want to go for an extension to this office again. You get a new job and you want to change your visa to a worker's permit, you're going to want to go to this office again. So any queries that you might have about your possible move to the city, your international office is your friend. Most of the people that are working there are competent to talk to you or reply to your emails in English. Initially, I wasted a lot of time using Google Translate, as my competency in German wasn't that high enough to be able to comprehend what was being written back to me, or in my head form grammatically correct sentences each and every time. Don't do that. Write to them in English. You'd save up a lot of time, you'd save up a lot of effort, and it'll go much smoother for you. Tip number 5. So I was born and brought up in India. One thing that I learned very early in my education and my experience in school was that to survive, you need to compete. Compete for everything. Compete and get good marks even to get the kind of subject you want to follow, be it commerce, humanities, or science. I had to sit out a year and then compete again to get the college that I wanted to study my medicine in. But realize this, language learning does not require you to compete. It's not a competition anymore. And suddenly you're free from that accruing pressure within. What you require for language learning is the right kind of teachers and the right kind of support environment. And I was lucky enough to find that in my teachers from school, with whom I had initially begun my journey of learning German. And so when I found them, I held on to them because it was a wonderful experience. And their experience of 30 years translated into me having that skill, being able to communicate in German. And so shout outs to the Deals. I'm gonna link in the description below. If you're interested, you could reach out to them. So what I'm trying to say is, try and find the right kind of teachers and do not depend on learning everything from a bot. They're a supportive system. They cannot be your actual system of learning the language. For learning a language, it's always better to have that support system around you. And I used to sit in a classroom with students ranging from 10 years old to 60 years old, and we were on the first name basis. And it helped so much because we were communicating every single day in German, regardless of what mistakes we were making. It helps. And so realize that importance of having a teacher or a tutor that's a human and not a bot. And well, Corona helped us make most of the things available online. And I'm pretty sure that you can find the teacher that suits your requirements of learning the language. I learned German, but you could be learning French, Arabic, Italian, Farsi, Chinese, or Hindi if you're coming to India. Who knows? Which brings me to my next point. Tip number 6. Let's talk about the 2 kinds of pressure that a person can feel. There is an internal pressure that is the impulse that allows you to engage with new experiences. Think of it as you standing across a room and wanting to go talk to that attractive person. That impulse that you feel within you is the internal pressure. And then there's an external pressure. That's the kind of pressure that your peers or your teachers or your parents might put on you. There's nothing you can do about that. Why am I talking about it? Well, we end up putting so much pressure on ourselves for things which really don't count for much later in life. Think of the exams that you gave back in school. I remember I had to give board exams in class 10th and then class 12th, and so much importance was delivered to them at that point that my entire career would depend on the number of marks I get in those exams. So I should give it my all and secure definitely above 90%. But it counts for nothing. Today in the real life, nobody wants to have those certificates or wants to know. So was it really worth putting all of that pressure on myself, missing out on all the other moments that I did? Hear me out. I'm not saying don't chase your goals. I'm saying identify your goals and think of the exams that you'll give along the way as a permission to then reach your goals, as an entry pass, not an all-in-all goal. When I learned German, there were different stages for a language, so A1, A2, B1, B2, and C1, C2. And so to enter Germany at my stage as a doctor, as a professional, I needed a minimum of B2. I did C1. And I wanted best marks in all of them. Later realizing it didn't matter. What would matter is the competency that I bring along the way to be then able to communicate with any stranger that I would meet in Germany, and have a mindful conversation with them. And marks don't play any role in that. There's a subtle shift in the kind of mindset for a student. It only, as a certificate, allowed me to get here, to then realize my dream or my goal of doing my residency in Germany and working as a doctor in the university hospital. Realize this: in 10 years' time, what would you rather look back to? The kind of pressure that you put on yourself and how miserable you were during the entire journey? Or the amazing memories that you made along the way, and the beautiful friendships that you created, and the amazing conversations with strangers that you ended up having because of the competency that you had? Give it some thought. That's it, guys. That brings me to the end of my video. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, the like button if you haven't already liked it, and share it with somebody who needs it. I will be making more videos and content about my journey to Germany, so do write in the comment section and start a new conversation in case there's something you're interested in. They helped me bring my dream come alive. So, hope you find somebody in your life that helps you do that too. I'll see you in the next one.